Now, we know technology for different reasons, but what if I told you this technology could give a voice to children with speech and development difficulties? Yes, literally unlocking potential. That is what we'll be spotlighting today on Take on Tech's episode. That is Umbi Labs, who have come up with a solution to this. So for this and much more, you are rightly tuned in on Take on Tech. That is also the hashtag at KBC Channel 1. My name is Stephanie Ayeta.
Technology is transforming lives in ways we never imagined. But beyond convenience and automation, innovation is increasingly being used to solve some of the society's most pressing challenges. Today, we explore how artificial intelligence is helping children with speech and language disabilities communicate more effectively and access the support they need to thrive. Communication is one of the most fundamental human abilities. It allows us to express our thoughts, share our emotions, learn, and connect with others. Yet, for thousands of children living with speech and language disabilities, communication is not always easy. Something as simple as asking for help, expressing a feeling, or participating in a classroom discussion can become a daily challenge. In Kenya, access to speech and language therapy services remains limited. Many families, especially those living outside major urban centers, struggle to find qualified specialists who can assess and support children experiencing speech delays or communication difficulties. The shortage of therapists means that many children are diagnosed late, while others may never receive the intervention they need during critical stages of development. But what if technology could help bridge this gap? What if artificial intelligence could support therapists, empower parents, and give children new tools to communicate effectively? That is exactly the challenge one Kenyan startup is working to solve. Founded by Kenyan innovator James Reedy, Umbi Labs is developing assistive technologies designed specifically for children with speech and language development delays. The company believes that every child deserves an opportunity to communicate and participate fully in society regardless of their abilities. To achieve this, Umbi Labs has created an innovative mobile application known as Soinzavek. The platform combines artificial intelligence, speech recognition technology, and therapeutic learning tools to support children between the ages of 2 and 13 years. Importantly, the solution is not designed to replace speech therapists. Instead, it acts as a companion tool that extends access to services, supports therapy sessions, and enables families to identify potential challenges earlier. This human-centered approach places technology alongside professional expertise, creating a more accessible support system for children and caregivers.
Umbi Labs is our startup, and the product itself is called Soinzavek. And Soinzavek is a mobile app, which is AI powered. We call it a speech companion, and at a high level, it does 3 things. First, it's helping families find the right support for their children, and it does this by first having screening. There's this challenge where families are not able to identify speech and language delays or disabilities in their children. So early intervention is a problem. So first it does that, helping with the screening. When it does screening, now the second feature comes into play, whereas now is the assistive communication. Assistive communication is where now that individual, that child who has that condition, can be able to use the application, talk to it directly, and it transcribes what they are saying, so it understands what they are saying. And finally, we build a support around their communication, because I often say communication is more than just speaking. Communication is a two-way street, if we'd say. It's about you speaking and it's about other people understanding you. And for most of these children, that's a challenge. So how we are trying to address that is helping them with the practical exercises and therapy exercises, which are gamified to help them keep them motivated and wanting to engage more, and eventually building a routine and a better outcome. We are not trying to replace a speech therapist. We are basically trying to extend their reach. So basically complementing what they are already doing. So families need support, professionals are overwhelmed. So the technology itself is just to expand their reach so that they can focus on other sessions. The technology itself can only be able to do something like monitoring, tracking, and whatnot. But the core skills that the therapists have, we are not replacing that. So it's just complementing what they're already doing.
One of the biggest challenges in speech and language development is identifying issues early enough for intervention. The first feature of SoinzerVec platform addresses this challenge through a digital screening tool. Parents are guided through a simple assessment questionnaire designed to evaluate their child's speech and language milestones. Based on the responses provided, the system analyzes the information and generates recommendations. Where necessary, parents can also be connected with qualified speech and language therapists for further evaluation and professional support. This early screening process can help families take action before communication challenges become more severe. The second component is perhaps the most transformative. Using artificial intelligence-powered speech recognition, children can speak directly into the application. The technology then listens, analyzes, and interprets the child's speech patterns. Even when the speech may be difficult for others to understand, the system works to transcribe and clarify what the child is trying to communicate. This creates a bridge between children and the people around them, including parents, caregivers, teachers, and classmates. By reducing communication barriers, the technology helps children participate more confidently in everyday interactions. And for many families, that can make a significant difference in quality of life. Consistency is critical while developing speech and language skills. However, maintaining regular practice can often be difficult for children. To address this, SoinzerVec incorporates interactive therapy supports features. Through educational games, speech exercises, and engaging activities, children can practice communication skills in a fun and motivating environment. The gamified approach encourages repetition, builds confidence, and helps reinforce learning between therapy sessions.
Education is a very good element when it comes to learning, and especially for children, because as compared to adults, we adults tend to learn differently as compared to how a child might learn. If you take something to a child and it feels more like a homework or like more of a medical intervention, the engagement will quickly drop. So the gamification elements come into play. So create these exercises in a way gamified or more interactive manner that helps to keep the child more motivated to engage with the content. And what that does is it builds that routine and consistency, and the child is able to get some value out of it. AI is a very interesting field because AI understands what you give it. So it understands data. So it all comes down to the data at the end of the day. What data did you use to feed this AI to understand what another person might say? For instance, currently some of the products that are already in the market, right now, most people, when you say AI, most people think about chatbots, think about ChatGPT. But there's another aspect of now speech recognition, and that uses speech data, how we are talking. And that sometimes you find there's biasness, where it only understands atypical speech data, where a person is just speaking normally, but an atypical speech pattern, it struggles to understand that pattern. So we used some data that is local data, so Kenyan accented English and Swahili. So the AI can be able to understand that when it encounters that pattern or that speech in future.
By turning practice into play, the platform makes speech development more engaging for young users. One challenge facing many important speech technologies is language and accent recognition. Most systems are trained using speech data from Europe or North America, making it difficult for them to accurately interpret African accents and speech patterns. Umbi Labs has taken a different approach. The Soinzavek platform has trained using Kenyan accented English and Swahili speech data. This local fast strategy improves accuracy while making technology more relevant to Kenyan users. The company also plans to expand support to additional local languages and dialects in the future, creating a more inclusive communication platform for diverse communities across the country.
Kenya is diverse. We can all agree on that. We have a lot of dialects, we have a lot of languages, and a lot of speech patterns. So what we started with is on national languages, so Swahili and English. So that's where we started with. But eventually we want to incorporate our technology to understand even other languages that are spoken in Kenya, including local dialects, vernaculars, Luo, Kikuyu, Maasai, Somali, and all that. So eventually that's our goal, to incorporate all those languages under our application.
This demonstrates how locally developed technology can often provide solutions that are better suited for local realities. Whenever technology involves children, privacy and safety becomes critical considerations. Artificial intelligence offers tremendous opportunities, but it also raises important questions about data protection, fairness, and responsible innovation. According to Umbi Labs founder James Riri, these principles have been central throughout the development process. The company has prioritized protecting children's data while ensuring that technology remains inclusive and accessible.
Developing something for children is sensitive, and everyone who is being involved really has to look on the ethical consideration of the product that you're trying to bring into the market. And one of the things that we really did focus on came down to three. First is privacy. Of course, privacy is key. You don't want that data that is being collected when the child is engaging with the exercises, the speech patterns, and all that. You have to be private and protect them. Secondly, it's about fairness, and I would marry this with how the technology itself incorporates or includes everyone to the technology itself. Because if you develop something and it only works for some set or group of people, then I feel that kind of technology would be biased, and that would present a very ethical and also a technical issue in my view.
Developers have worked to create systems that minimize bias and support users from diverse backgrounds. As AI continues to become part of our daily lives, responsible innovation will remain just as important as technological advancements itself. Technology alone cannot solve every challenge. That is why Umbi Labs is working closely with schools, healthcare institutions, speech-language pathologists, and county governments. Technology alone cannot solve every challenge. That is why Umbi Labs is working closely with schools, healthcare institutions, speech-language pathologists, and county governments. These partnerships aim to expand access to speech and language support services, particularly in underserved areas. By bringing together technology providers, healthcare professionals, educators, and policymakers. The company hopes to create a more comprehensive support ecosystem for children and families. Such collaborations could help bridge long-standing gaps in access to specialized care across Kenya.
We are looking for partnerships to continue developing this product because as the African saying goes, it takes a whole village to bring up a child. You can't be able to build something of this magnitude without having different stakeholders into play. So partnerships, we are looking to that with the institutions, first of all as therapy outlets, professionals who are working as a speech language pathologist who can be able to share and help with the distribution channels, and also with other like-minded individuals who believes in inclusion and driving the assistive technology forward.
Artificial intelligence is often associated with automation, productivity, and business transformation. But as we have seen today, its greatest impact may lie in the ability to improve lives and create opportunities for inclusion. Through innovations like Soinzavec, Umilabs is demonstrating how technology can help children overcome communication barriers, support families, and extend access to specialized care. It's a reminder that when innovation is guided by empathy and purpose, technology becomes inevitable. Technology becomes more than a tool, it becomes a pathway to empowerment.
I say there's a lot of opportunities. There's a lot of opportunities in tech and around AI. And it's, as a young person out there, you have to look around and see what are the problems that you can be able to solve. You see, from that, you can be able to now go back on your desktop or on your table and start looking at how you can be able to build the technology around the challenges and be able to help create something that will move humanity forward.
Innovation is most powerful when it leaves no one behind. As we have seen today, technology is connecting children to opportunities, families to support, and communities to a more inclusive future. Tell us what you think about this. The hashtag is TakeOnTech at KBC Channel 1. My name is Stephanie Ayeta. I will see you next week, same time, same place. Until then, let's keep innovating, let's keep tech.